In this video, we are going to talk about 4 asset management companies listed in ASX. The first one is Magellan Financial Group with the ticker code MFG. The second one is Pendal with the ticker code PDL. And next is PPT or Perpetual. And the last one is Platinum Asset Management. Why do we talk about these 4 companies? Because their 1-year performance, their share price is not doing so well in 2022. And if you check the 5-year performance, some of them are reaching the 5-year low. And it's pretty bad, as low as 72% for the case for Platinum Asset Management. As always, my videos are not financial advice, guys. It's just informational and hopefully educational for some of you. And shout out to everyone who's still subscribing and giving wonderful feedback and opinions. That really helps me to be a better investor. After reading the recent annual report for these 4 companies, I noticed that they have a similar point of view of why the share markets are pessimistic with these 4 asset management companies. There are external factors such as Russia and Ukraine war, in which elevate all of the energy price, and therefore every goods and services price are soaring as well. And there's the topic of inflation. Kind of get sick of it. And then we have Reserve Bank all over the world trying to tame the inflation by increasing the interest rate. But we're also going to talk about some of the internal factors that is happening within these 4 companies. Let's start with MFG, Magellan Financial Group. As you understand, most of these asset management companies generate revenues from management and performance fees. In order to achieve high revenue, they have to have a huge fund under management. And as of August 2022, MFG reported total fund under management about $57 billion, with a net outflow of $1.3 billion, and the majority of the outflow, about $700 million, is from the institutional investor. That's not a good news because the majority of the investors in MFG are institutional. And also we have a news where Hamish Douglas, a founder and a charming fund manager, returning as a consultant around October this year to restore investor confidence. But if we check out this article by Australian Financial Review, they found out that Hamish Douglas has been selling some of his shares, totaling about 9.7 million. And if the founder selling its shares usually is not a good news as well. For my personal opinion, it's really sad too for Magellan to sell their stake in Guzman y Gomez, the Mexican food franchise, which I think has a pretty interesting brand and the long-term growth. With the August 2022 fund under management of $57 billion, it is lower than its level in 2018 of about $69 billion. And investors seeing that, they'll think the revenue will be much less, and with this uncertain inflationary environment, it's not appealing to invest in asset management companies. But aside from that, it's interesting too that St. James Place, who withdrew its mandate from Magellan around December 2021, almost a year ago, which impacted the 12% of Magellan's group revenue. If you think of it, they must have withdrew a lot, like billions of dollars. But what is interesting, here comes Pendal Group, ASX PDL. In one of its ASX announcements, the CEO of Pendal mentioned about the continued investment of St. James Place of an additional $1.3 billion, which makes people wonder, what did Magellan did wrong? More news about Pendal and Perpetual is that they're announcing a merger, and they will continue to operate as Perpetual. If the merger ends up going through, the account under management will be massive, as big as 200 billion Australian dollars, in which it will generate $1.4 billion in revenue. But still, these companies still need to prove their investment skills to outperform the share market. Lastly, let's talk about Platinum Asset Management. And make sure you watch till the end, because there is some relation between Platinum Asset Management and Magellan Financial Group. As you can see, Platinum Asset Management is the least performing asset management company out of the 4, and it has the smallest fund under management, in the range between $15 to $20 billion. If you compare it with Pendal and Perpetual, who's managing $100 billion each, and Magellan, who's managing about 57 billion. Platinum has a smaller market share. And I just found out about this recently in the annual report 2022. There's a big drop in ownership of the company from K. Nielsen, the founder, one of the famous Australian fund managers, who's also happened to be a billionaire. So Mr. Nielsen used to own about 252 ordinary shares. Now it's down to about half, to 126 million shares. So what happened? If you read the footnote, this is due to the termination of deed stability between Judith Nielsen, K. Nielsen ex-wife, and the termination occurred in 2021. And 120 million shares is a lot. With the total amount of shares within the company, about 585 million shares, this is not accurate, just an estimate, that is about 21% stake of the company. And if the company give out dividends, say about $100 million, that person who owned 21% will get $21 million, fully frank dividend. And according to Forbes, Judith Nielsen is also a billionaire and the director of Sydney's White Rabbit Gallery. And also, it doesn't help the share price if someone who owns 21% stake just want to sell its shares. I don't know, maybe, potentially. I'm not speculating here. Interestingly, Magellan founder Mr. Hamish Douglas also gone through a separation with his wife. I'm not trying to comment anyone's business, but it leaves the questions to normal human being, an average guy who's not a billionaire. Why does a lot of money, over hundreds of $1 million, breaks a marriage? Isn't it marriage more important than money? That's such a deep question, but after seeing what's happening with Elon Musk and also Jeff Bezos, it seems like once you reach the billionaire status, it will be very difficult to have people around you who truly loves you.